Imagine buying a piece of a skyscraper or a vacation home with just a few clicks, almost like you're buying a stock. This isn't some far-off fantasy. It's happening right now thanks to two powerful technologies: smart contracts and tokenization. For years, buying real estate has been a slow, expensive, and complicated process. It involves countless middlemen, mountains of paperwork, and fees that seem to come out of nowhere. But all of that is starting to change. We're entering an era where technology is cutting out the unnecessary steps, making property ownership more accessible and efficient for everyone, not just the ultra-wealthy. So what exactly are these game changers? Let's start with tokenization. Put simply, tokenization is the process of converting the ownership rights of a physical asset, like a building, into digital tokens on a blockchain. Think of each token as a digital share of that property. If a building is worth $1 million, you could create 1 million tokens, each representing $1 worth of ownership. This allows people to buy and sell small fractions of high-value real estate, which was previously impossible. It opens up opportunities for smaller investors to get into the market and diversify their portfolios without needing hundreds of thousands of dollars for a down payment. Now let's talk about smart contracts. A smart contract is essentially a self-executing contract with the terms of the agreement directly written into code. It's like a super smart automated vending machine for deals. You put in the required inputs, in this case money and fulfillment of certain conditions, and the machine automatically dispenses the output, which would be the property token. These contracts live on a blockchain, a secure and transparent digital ledger. This means once the contract is set up, it runs exactly as programmed without any possibility of downtime, fraud, or third-party interference. It's a digital handshake that can't be broken. Together, these two innovations are completely revolutionizing the real estate landscape. Tokenization breaks down financial barriers, while smart contracts eliminate procedural ones. The combination creates a system that is faster, cheaper, and more secure than anything we've had before. We're moving away from dusty file cabinets and lengthy closing periods toward a future of instant, transparent transactions. This isn't just a minor upgrade, it's a fundamental shift in how we think about, invest in, and transfer one of the world's most valuable asset classes. The days of waiting months to close a deal are numbered. When you buy a piece of tokenized real estate, the entire process is managed by a smart contract, which dramatically simplifies things. Traditionally, a property sale involves a long list of people: real estate agents, lawyers, escrow agents, and bank officers. Each one adds time and cost to the transaction. A smart contract, however, acts as the ultimate, unbiased middleman that works for free, 24/7. It holds the buyer's funds and the seller's property token in a secure digital escrow. It's programmed with all the rules of the sale, like the purchase price, the inspection contingency, and the closing date. The beauty of this system is that it operates on an if-then basis. For example, the contract is coded with a rule that says, if the buyer deposits the agreed-upon amount of money, and if a certified home inspector uploads a satisfactory report, then release the property token to the buyer and the funds to the seller. This happens automatically without needing a human to manually verify and approve each step. It removes the potential for human error or delay. No one can forget to file a document or go on vacation at a critical moment because the code handles everything precisely as intended. This automation makes the buying and selling process incredibly straightforward and transparent for both parties. Everyone involved can see the contract's terms on the blockchain, and they can track the progress of the transaction in real time. There's no more wondering if the other party has signed the papers or if the funds have cleared. The blockchain provides a single, unchangeable source of truth. This level of transparency builds trust and reduces the anxiety that often comes with high-stakes deals. You're no longer relying on endless phone calls and emails to get updates. You can just look at the blockchain. Ultimately, smart contracts streamline the flow of a real estate transaction from a complex, multi-week ordeal into a series of simple, automated steps. They take on the roles of escrow, title verification, and payment processing, condensing them into a single, efficient piece of code. This means you can focus on the important part, the investment itself, rather than getting bogged down in the tedious and often frustrating administrative work. It's about taking a process that has been stuck in the past for decades and bringing it into the modern digital age of efficiency and simplicity. Let's walk through a practical example to see how this works. Imagine a commercial building in Austin, Texas, valued at $10 million. The owner decides to tokenize it, creating 10 million tokens, each valued at $1. You, as an investor, want to buy a small stake in this property. You decide to invest $5,000. Instead of hiring lawyers and going through a traditional paper-heavy process, you log on to a real estate tokenization platform. You find the listing for the Austin property and see all the relevant documents like appraisals and financial statements attached digitally. To make the purchase, you interact with the property's smart contract. The contract's rules are clear. To receive 5,000 property tokens, you must deposit the equivalent of $5,000 in an approved digital currency. You transfer the funds from your digital wallet to the smart contract's address. The smart contract instantly verifies that the funds have been received. It's like putting your coins into that vending machine. The contract doesn't need to call a bank or wait for a check to clear. The blockchain confirms the payment immediately and irreversibly. Once your payment is confirmed, the smart contract automatically executes the next step of its programming. It instantly transfers 5,000 tokens from the seller's wallet directly into your digital wallet. At the same time, it releases your $5,000 in funds to the seller's wallet. This entire exchange, from payment to receiving your ownership tokens, can happen in minutes, not months. You now legally own a piece of that Austin commercial building, and your ownership is permanently recorded on the blockchain for anyone to see. There's no title company, no deed recording at a county office, just a secure and transparent digital transfer. This digital handshake is a complete game changer. Think about the fees you just avoided. There were no escrow fees, no expensive lawyer consultations for a small transaction, and minimal administrative costs. The transaction cost, known as a gas fee on the blockchain, is typically a tiny fraction of what traditional closing costs would be. You were able to complete an international or out-of-state real estate investment from your couch without ever needing to sign a physical piece of paper. This is the power of smart contracts in action, making real estate investment fast, cheap, and accessible. The advantages of this new system are massive, touching on speed, security, cost, and accuracy. The most obvious benefit is the incredible speed. Traditional real estate closings can take anywhere from 30 to 90 days, or even longer if complications arise. With tokenization and smart contracts, transactions can be settled in a matter of minutes or hours. This speed allows investors to be more nimble, reacting to market opportunities quickly instead of having their capital tied up for months in a pending deal. It transforms real estate from a slow, illiquid asset into something much more dynamic. Next is the enhanced security. The blockchain, by its very nature, is incredibly secure. Every transaction is encrypted and linked to the previous one, creating a chain that is virtually impossible to tamper with. This eliminates many of the risks associated with traditional real estate, such as title fraud or document forgery. Once your ownership is recorded on the blockchain, it is permanent and undisputed. This provides a level of security and peace of mind that paper-based systems simply cannot match. Your digital property rights are protected by complex cryptography, not just a lock on a filing cabinet. Of course, one of the biggest draws for any investor is the significant reduction in costs. Buying property the old-fashioned way means paying for a whole host of services: title insurance, escrow fees, brokerage commissions, legal fees, and recording fees. These costs can add up to thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Smart contracts automate most of these functions, drastically cutting down on the number of middlemen who need to be paid. Lower transaction costs mean more of your money goes directly into the investment itself, improving your potential returns from day one. Finally, this technology is democratizing real estate investment for everyone. By allowing for fractional ownership, it lowers the barrier to entry from hundreds of thousands of dollars to as little as a few hundred or even less. This opens the door for a whole new generation of investors to build wealth through property. It's no longer a market reserved for the rich. This shift is creating a more inclusive and equitable financial landscape, where anyone with a little bit of capital and an internet connection can start building their own real estate portfolio. This is not just an evolution, it's a revolution in ownership. Enjoyed learning about the future of real estate? Give this video a thumbs up, share it with friends, and hit that subscribe button for more. Drop a comment below if there's any other jargon you'd like us to explain.